Hi, and welcome to a new episode of Behind the Uni, brought to you by the University of Gloucestershire, the podcast that covers everything to do with student life with your hosts, Hisham and Lewis. Let's dive in.
Thank you so much for tuning into the Behind the Uni podcast, the podcast brought to you by the University of Gloucestershire about everything student life. I'm one of your co-hosts. My name is Hisham.
I'm the other co-host, Lewis.
And thank you so much for coming back. If you've watched or listened to our previous episodes, and if you're a new listener, welcome. This podcast is centered about everything uni life, from mental health to saving some coins while at university to being an alumni and what that entails. Today's episode is special. It's a different format. We're experimenting with a new format here on the
switch
podcast.
up, isn't it?
Switching it up. So we've got an amazing guest who is a journalism alumni at the University of Gloucestershire, and he's doing incredible things, or has done it and continues to do incredible things since he finished his course. And the other half of the episode will be answering all the questions that you have been sending it in on our social media and on the podcast. So yeah, Jack, thank you so much for coming in.
What an intro, I'm flattered.
This is Jack Shute, who graduating this year, right? So you literally just finished university.
I literally got my results today for my degree.
Oh, amazing.
you do?
Yeah,
Are you happy with the result?
Yeah. Imagine if I was like crying
Wait,
over it.
well, congrats. That's like a
Thank
that's a big
you.
deal. You'll get your certificate soon then.
Yes, I know, I'm really excited.
Are you going to frame your certificate?
Who doesn't? You have to, right? That's like part
I
of the
didn't.
process, surely.
I did, and then I opened a window and it fell off the shelf and smashed.
Nice.
But
Okay, maybe I won't.
but the certificate was still, it's okay, but it's just glass everywhere else.
Mine is not framed. I gave mine to my mum
Oh, that's
because
that's
I
sweet.
feel like she wants it more. I don't know.
Yeah, I might do that actually.
Yeah.
I feel like my mum would like it more than me.
You should just photocopy it and just give it to everyone for like Christmas.
Maybe.
Then you'd have to sort Christmas presents out then.
Imagine I make like gift wrapping with my uni certificate.
To be fair, I did that with all like my graduation pictures.
That's
so,
hilarious.
So for my family, I just went, here you go, here's a picture of me, you can put it on your wall.
I love that.
That's a good gift though.
It is a
I'm
good
sure
gift.
they loved it.
They can just look at my
I'm going
face.
to take that idea actually.
Yeah.
Do it next year.
Not
So-
pretentious at all.
No.
You've just finished uni. We're in, what's the day today? Like the 21st of July. We're in
can't keep
filming this during the heat wave week.
Yes.
So the UK have just registered the highest number of
like 41
temperature in
degrees.
recorded
Yeah.
history,
Oof,
which
it's
is
mad.
crazy, but we're here. It's nice and cool today, which is nice. But we have actually taken a little break from recording, and then we're back. So it's taken us a bit to get back into the flow. But thank you so much for joining us.
Oh no, I love
Yeah,
it.
like
Thanks for asking me.
No
No
worries.
problem.
And like I said, you literally just finished uni about like a couple of months ago.
Yeah, it feels,
And-
it's weird. It's a weird time.
Yeah, it is, because we have discussed this with previous guests and alumni. It's like the weirdest time because you're like, okay, what do I do now?
Yeah.
But Jack, in all honesty, I feel like from social media, we've been keeping up with what you've been up to and whatnot
Oh,
previous to finishing university, and now you're a busy boy.
listen, I it's keeping the thoughts at bay.
But like,
No,
so
honestly.
I mean, we were just talking before we started recording. Congratulations, because
Thank
you've just
you.
been given a contract by the BBC,
Yes.
which is incredible.
Oh, I'm super chuffed. I'm not
So-
gonna lie. I'm really happy.
Yeah, tell our audience what you're up to now, what you've been up
course.
to.
So it did happen really quickly. It's all about connections, honestly, and networking. And I know you guys know that from being at uni. Like that is one of the things of being at uni, and this uni in particular, was the networking. It's changed my life. Like I'm not saying that lightly. It changed my life. It's the people I've met along the way and the industry contacts, people that come in for talks and doing placements and work experience. I took full advantage of that because I knew that would get me where I wanted to be. And it has. Like just meeting people, especially with journalism, which is what I did, and especially radio in particular, which is what I'm in now. It's all about people. That is what it's all about. And meeting those people who work in it and, are experts in it, they can really just bring you into it and introduce you to a whole new life. And, it's the people I've met at the BBC and also just at uni who introduced me to these people who, were impressed by what I did. And I said, I can offer you this. I want to do some, just shadow you for a day. It starts so simple.
Yeah.
I'm going to come into the office for a day. I'm going to make you 5 cups of tea. I'm still doing it now. It's important. It's 50% of the job. Like it's important, making cups of tea and coffee. And, you just get yourself into these environments and really prove yourself and just be a good person. I think, again, the other 50% is just being a nice person. If people like you, they're going to want you back. It is so important because it's all about personality and being personable. And if you're in someone's good books, they're going to want you to come back because, you know,
Yeah.
no one wants a miserable, mean person in the office. They want someone who is going to make their day better. And that's what I tried to do. So I think it's all about people, honestly, and that's what I did, yeah.
But yeah, like going into journalism, I think it's. Have you always wanted to study journalism? Was that like?
Yeah, I think so. It was always my passion, and
Love that.
that word I know it's so cheesy, passion,
yeah.
but it's true. Don't know how to explain it. You know, when I was at sixth form, I didn't really have the option to do journalism because there was a limited, you know, subjects that we could choose from.
Yeah.
So I did a little mix. It was media studies, English literature, and drama.
Sort of the combination is
exactly.
put into a big pot and
Exactly.
out pops journalism.
It's true. If you blend them all together, they have aspects of journalism. So I was like, you know what? I'll try all these. I did sociology too, but I dropped out of that one, so we won't talk about that. So I tried my best to get into the world of journalism then, but it was harder to do in sixth form because, you know, it's not like uni where you get the placements and work experience. But I'm not going to lie, I've had a funny old time. Like my story into getting into it is because I did drag. And that is, honestly...
Okay, let's get into it. What do you mean?
Whole new topic. Well, this is the thing. You know, it's weird where life can take you and what happens because just before I started uni, like a week before my first, you know, day at uni, first year, I did a drag competition in Cheltenham. And I think... I was told, I didn't make this up, I was the youngest drag queen in Gloucestershire.
Wow.
I was performing. I wasn't aware of that.
How old were you?
That's a good
18.
That's a good accolade to have, though.
Listen, it doesn't.
So
it's
young.
not a title that lasts forever. 'Cause I'm 22 now, so I'm not. But at the time, loved that. And you know, BBC Gloucestershire, where I work now, saw this, and I had a friend there, Faye Hatcher, shout out, she's a great person, and she's a presenter there, and I shadowed her once, so we knew each other really well, and now we're really close friends. And she saw what I was doing with my drag, and she wanted to interview me on the radios because she was interested in this as a story.
Love this.
And that's what got me into the radio from that interview and doing drag. Like, it introduced me to a whole new, you know, part of it all, being interviewed. I was in the station, you know, I got to meet new people. And that, again, was something that helped me get to where I am now. So, do drag.
How did you find being on like, the radio for the first time? Were you quite obviously nervous going into it, or yeah?
Of course, I think anyone is. You know, in my job now, I meet new people every single day that come into the studio and are being interviewed. And some of them have done it many times and they're fine, but most of the time it's their first ever interview and they're really nervous because it is a nerve-wracking experience. So it's important in my job to make these people feel comfortable and to, you know, understand that everything's going to be okay, you're going to be great, just don't swear. And they never do, it's all good. And I remember when I was in that position, I was really nervous. So it's nice that I can sympathise and put myself in their shoes because I understand how they feel. And that's really important, again, in the job. And of course I was nervous when I was first interviewed. I was scared of saying the wrong thing, but it's also the topic that we were having is drag and the LGBTQ plus community. You know, not everyone's going to support that. It's still a minority that people don't always support and understand. So being on the radio talking about that in particular, I was like, oh, I wonder what reaction I'm going to get from this. You know, a young person doing drag, what are people going to think or say? I only got positive reactions, mostly, and that's the only reactions I took attention to. Of course, people had comments, but I brushed them off because, you know, you can't let that get to you too much.
No.
But yeah, it was a great experience, and it made me love radio, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing today.
That is so cool.
That's such a great story.
Like the fact when before you started university, did you always like do drag, or was it like something that you just started like recently when you were like 18 and you started going out and whatnot, or
Good
was
question.
it something that you've always loved?
Always loved, I would say, you know, I've loved RuPaul's Drag Race, and when drag was really in the mainstream, when people were realising it, that's when I was introduced to it, because I wasn't comfortable in who I was when I was about, 15 years old. I wasn't accepting that I was a gay man. Or gay boy at the time. I really only came to terms with that when I was 16, and when I came to terms with that, I started accepting myself and the community and everything that includes, which includes drag, of course. So I started watching Drag Race. I was loving it. I was inspired, and these people on that TV show really were my role models.
Love that.
And they gave me confidence in myself, because I was like, well, if they can do that and be celebrated, then I can in what I'm doing or whatever that might be. So I was always loving drag from about 16, I would say, but doing it, oh, you're joking? Of course I wouldn't. Not at the time. I was like, I can't do that. I can't do that. But when I got to 18, it was my mum actually who told me to do it, and she inspired me. So
Love that.
do you guys know Everybody's Talking About Jamie, the
Yeah.
musical?
No, I haven't heard it.
You will know after this. I'll make sure
very
you
good.
watch
It's
it.
very good.
I'll watch it
It's
after
great.
this.
You'll have to. So me and my mum watched a live screening of that at the cinema, and at the end she looked at me and she said, "Why aren't you doing that? You should do this. Like, this is for you." And I was like, "Mum, you're mad." But then she saw in the newspaper that Misty Monique, the local drag legend that we all love and know, she was holding a drag competition, and my mum clipped out the newspaper and she was like, "You're doing this. I bought you the wig. You're doing it." Like,
You're going
she's
straight
like-
in.
She's like, she's my biggest supporter, and she really influenced me into doing it, and I'm so glad she did. And she knew what she was doing. Like, she knew where it would take me, and she's so happy it made me. So she bought the dress, she bought the wig, it was all sorted, ready to go. I got into the competition
That's so
a
awesome.
week before uni.
Which is crazy, because like how, like the fact that you just connected like a hobby or something that's like your passion into how it's actually led you to your career,
Yeah, it's all linked. It's
which is
crazy.
it's
Yeah.
so weird. Also, it's really really interesting that like how like the LGBTQ community in the area
Yes.
kind of provided you with like your first stories, and like I'm
yeah.
sure when you first started studying journalism, you came to uni. I'm knocking my mic. I'm a professional.
You're getting
I hate
excited.
Yeah,
I took
the
off my
hands are going everywhere, aren't they?
when you first started your course, and like obviously I did the same course, and like I know that you go
Yeah.
out and do. Oh my god, keep doing
Again.
it. It's these new mufflers thing.
Yeah.
that we got
We're getting
going
used
on.
to it. We're getting
Yeah.
used to it.
You obviously do your own stories, do your own stuff. Did you kind of focus on the community within the area? How was that? Did you feel like you like encroaching on someone's privacy? Because it's considered a taboo subject, which I think is not okay. But I think a lot of people stay away from kind of doing hard-hitting topics from the get-go, and I think you did, which I really admire you for, and like kudos
Thank
to
you.
But how did you find out as a first-year student?
Yeah, 100%. You've put it really well. It is still taboo, as it shouldn't be, but it is. So, joining uni, but when a week just before I was in that, in that environment, I was doing drag. It was a crazy time because some of the people that were in my course that I was meeting for the first time saw me the first time in drag. They were
wow.
in the
Love that.
audience. And I didn't know that.
That's
So when
so
I met
cool.
them, I know it's crazy. It's not an experience that many people can relate to because it's just so, it's special to me, I guess. And I didn't realize it at the time, but looking back now, I'm like, oh wow, that was a really great experience. And yeah, people met me and they're like, oh, I loved your show, and I was like, what show?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was like incognito mode. I was like, what do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. And I wasn't really, even then, though I had done it, I wasn't that comfortable talking about it.
Yeah.
But did you feel accepted from
time.
your friends or people that have seen you?
Yeah, no, I did. I
that.
did feel like a bit of an outsider, and like I stood out from the crowd in not always the best way,
Yeah.
because not everyone does drag, and if they do, then maybe people have their certain views on it that aren't positive. So I was quite nervous joining first day because I was like, who knows what I've done? What are they going to think of it? And I was quite shy in that way. And I think I made up for it by acting confident, faking it till you make it. That is my quote, because I'm still doing it to this day.
Everyone does it.
Everyone does it, and it's good. You've got to. It works.
It builds your confidence over time.
Yeah.
It
100%.
does. Exactly, 100%.
It's like a lot of people like in reality TV, they just go into sort of like that TV mode and like that,
Yes.
like sort of like
Yeah.
influencer mode where they will just rattle off and be like that. Where, like for me, I find it quite difficult. I only usually do that like when it's like for interviews,
Yeah.
or if I'd got like a presentation, I'll just go like. For some reason, like, I like channel like this like real posh like accent when I'm doing like presentations. Like, I
Also,
like
his drag character.
yeah, I'm like, oh yes, okay. So today I'm explaining about I don't know the environment, and I'll
Yeah.
go like it's really posh. It's really strange when I do
I
it.
love that.
You didn't even think about it; it just happened.
No.
No, yeah, no.
Well, that's the thing. Like the idea. It's really funny that you say "fake it till you make it," because again, being a journalist, being a young journalist as well, in a time where everyone has the opportunity to be like create their own content, write their own stuff. You really have to stand out, and that's something that I learned on that on the course at the University of Gloucestershire. Is
Same.
that find your voice, stick with it, and nurture it as much as you can, and no one can tell you that you're not good.
Best advice I've ever been given, and it's that and knowing your niche and your brand,
Yeah.
and putting all that together puts you out there, ahead of everyone else, because it
Yeah.
really makes you stand out. And it's so important to have that because there's so much competition out there now, and there is every year. There's more competition. Things are changing, and this digital media age we're living in, anyone can be a creator, anyone can be a journalist if they're posting things online, and it's a great thing because it's community journalism, and everyone can join in on a story, and that's brilliant, and it can be reported from different points of view, but it does make it harder getting yourself out there. I sound like I've been going out all night. I haven't. I've been a good boy. I've been working all week. I don't know.
Well, yeah, you're in the radio. You're using that voice all the time.
It's true. It's been a long week, but it is difficult. There's so much competition, and I think you doing that course as well. We were told that, and it's good to know because we have to prepare for it, don't you?
Yeah. And I think it's a lot of some universities don't speak about this, but we have said it so many times on the podcast that yes, you come to university to come get a degree, sit in lectures, learn something, do assignments. But I say that the money that you pay at the university, you're not actually just paying for the degree, you're paying for all the life lessons and
around
the actual shared knowledge from the lecturer's own way of living in the industry.
Yeah.
We're really lucky that in journalism, all of our lecturers were in the industry for years and years and years.
Oh, yeah.
And most of them are still in the industry. And
so they know it even now. Yeah. And that
which is really, really important.
I think it's brilliant as well. Like from the outside looking in, I didn't do journalism or sports journalism. I did sports management, which is a completely different course. But from the outside, it just looks like they're preparing like kids for the future. Like it looks like it's so hands-on. And it's like you are doing what like a journalist would do. You are going to like record like broadcasts and stuff like that and different stuff.
Yeah,
so.
they treated us as adults.
Yeah, you feel that, and it helps.
Looking back, you just finished uni. Looking back at when you first started, post drag show, first day. So Jack Shute at the beginning in September.
Yes.
What year was it?
2018.
2018.
Yeah.
Compared to now, how much have you changed?
Oh, heavy question. I'm a completely different person.
Yeah.
I really am. And I've been through a journey because my voice has changed. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
Journey.
I'm a different person every time. No, but it's true. I had a journey because I actually left uni in the start of second year. I was going through a very difficult time in my life and things were changing and I was, made to move away and it was just a different time. It was difficult. And I was really scared because I thought, oh no, what have I done? I've ruined my chance, my opportunity. And it was really difficult. I was lucky enough to have that year out and kind of sort myself out. And then I restarted second year. They took me back and I'm so grateful for that. I always will be.
Yeah.
So it actually took me 4 years to finish. So I started in 2018. I'm finishing now in 2022. And I have been through a long journey with that and it's changed me so much. And I think first year, we all know first year. We all just kind of go in and do what we can.
Have a good time.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
Have fun.
It's important. It's what it's all about, genuinely.
Get out of your system.
It's all socialising and becoming a new person because
I think first year is really important. Yes, technically, and if anyone that's unaware of how the university system works in the UK, first year, the grades don't count towards your final grade.
Yeah.
However, I think it's so important to actually figure out how to, do assignments,
Yeah.
how to write essays in the official way.
Gosh.
Also, how to getting to know your area, getting to know the people,
Making friends.
Yeah,
making
there's
friends.
so many
Everything,
things
yeah.
at once, and it's overwhelming.
The first year, I think, is really important because that's when things go wrong. And then, like, I remember on that course when equipment used to give up on me, I knew exactly who to go to.
Yeah.
So when it came to like second
important.
and third year, when I'm doing big projects, if anything went wrong, I know exactly who to go to.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's just a big adjustment change as well. It's like I was living at home with my parents to start with, and it's just simple things, just like cooking for yourself or doing your own washing. Luckily, I lived close by where I could just go home on the weekend.
There you go.
And give my mum But then I didn't have to like.
Yeah, no, I'm joking.
Well, I knew how to do washing, but it's like I didn't have to do it because for me, it's a hassle. I would have to then put it on the line and stuff. You just like.
But the thing is, like, I remember being on halls. Did you stay in halls or did you stay at home?
I've lived in Gloucestershire all my life, so actually I had the privilege of staying at home.
Oh,
that's nice.
Yes,
jealous.
I'm hearing your stories of like pot noodle disasters. I've been there too. Don't get me wrong, but having your mum to be like, "Oh, mum, do you know what? Let's make dinner tonight." She knows how to cook, so that helps.
Yeah.
That helps. But like, I remember before coming to uni, I'd be like, I've spoken about this, about how extremely prepared I was for everything.
Yeah.
And because I was so super anxious that when it came to taking care of myself, that was easy. And I put all my energy throughout the 3 years into my work and assignments and whatnot, that over the 3 years, taking care of myself was just low down the list.
Yeah, exactly.
How have you, we've spoken about this, finding that balance of like socializing, work, taking care of your body, taking care of your health. How have you found that balance over the past 4 years?
It's difficult for anyone. And if
Yeah,
it's
in
not
general.
difficult for you, good for you, because I can't relate.
Yeah.
It is. There's a
Write
lot
a book
to
about
juggle.
it if you don't struggle with that.
Yeah, honestly, it's like we all go through that, don't we, at uni? And I remember being so intimidated when I first started, thinking, "Oh my gosh!" Looking at the third years, looking at you because you were in,
Yeah, I was the oldie.
The oldie.
Honestly, you were like the OG. You've been there. You knew what you're doing, and you were like doing it. Like you were so good, and everyone in your year was as well. Like you knew what you were doing, and I remember looking at you lot and thinking, "How am I going to be like that? How am I going to get there? Because I don't know what I'm doing." But you do. It just happens.
It just
Yeah.
happens. Because I was
promise. Like honestly, it happens.
Believe me, I was in the exact same position. I will never forget this. When I first started university, during induction week, we had a talk by a third-year student called Bea Cabello.
Yes.
And I'm sure Bea's not going to listen to this, but I remember saying that, I'm like, oh my God, this is a 21-year-old man who is so aware of who he is, really confident, is doing incredible things. He went and like reported on the Olympics, and I was like,
amazing.
and I just sat there with my ice latte. I was late, first of all, and I was
Probably
like,
hungover as well.
and I was like, oh my God, where am I going to get there? And it's about finding that groove over the past, like, throughout the course and throughout the time.
It takes time, but it happens. You've got 3 years, or maybe you've got more. It depends on your course. You've got those 3 years, or I did. Oh, well, 4 for me. And, it happens. It's fine. Trust the process.
Yeah.
It happens. If I was starting in first year again, I looked at where I am now, I'd be like, how did you do that? How? Please tell me. Yeah. I wouldn't have had a clue first year. You don't have to. That's not what you're meant to do. You're meant to take it in your own time, and it's a whole process that you will go through. You're bound to. It's part of the whole journey, and you do get there in the end. So just, if you are starting out and you're listening to this now, just it's okay, chill. You're gonna get there. It's fine, and that's my advice, and that's what I'd say to myself. But as you mentioned with the balance, I never balanced. My priority
Free for all it was. Yeah.
That's the answer for everyone has. What balance?
What balance? Is that a thing? Yeah, I never learned that.
Because I
even
think
to this
it's
day.
it's the only time as a student that you're allowed to not have a balance, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I don't judge anyone who is not a student who doesn't have a balance, because I think do things at your own pace and be confident and whatnot. But yeah, I've said this, like, you wake up at really weird times during the day.
Yeah.
You don't have a structure.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's just so bizarre. And then suddenly you're like, oh, I'm going to have to be an adult now.
Yeah,
what do I
it's
do?
terrifying.
But you're allowed to do it because it's your time to experiment,
yes.
isn't it? And that's
You
the
have
whole
the
thing
freedom
about it.
to do that.
You have 3 years and you just make the most of it, because you're never going to get an experience like this again.
It's true.
So
it's true.
It's massive.
Just enjoy it, honestly, as much as you can. I know there can be difficult times, and I've had that too, but all in all, I've enjoyed the whole experience, and I'm sad to leave it. I am
Reminds me how
it's sad, isn't it? You don't want to let it go, and people say that about school. Oh, school's fine, that's gone. That's ages ago now. I'm getting old. It's fine. But uni, it's just happened. It's fresh in my mind and my heart, and I'll never forget the memories I've made here, and not just memories, but the skills and the knowledge I've learned. Like, it's crazy. I can't believe how much I've picked up in these 3 years. And, these are things that I'm going to keep with me all my life. And of course they'll adapt and grow and improve, but they've set me up to do what I'm doing now, and it's working. Like, what I do every day at my job, I've learned at uni, and it really has made me so prepared. And I didn't think that would happen in first year. I was like, oh, okay, I'll do what I can at uni, then I guess hopefully I'll get a job when I finish. But I don't know if I'll be able to be prepared for the real world. But you are, and I am now, and I'm so grateful for that, because I'm loving what I'm doing, and I'm doing it because of the course.
So, drag queen turned journalist, which I love.
I love that title. I love it.
New Twitter bio.
The title, yes, do it.
New book coming soon. It is.
So you are a journalism coordinator.
Yes.
BBC Radio Gloucestershire.
That's right.
So you help presenters put shows together, and you also report on travel updates. And
yes.
Just really, it's like one of those jobs that, like, when growing up in like your local area, you hear that voice that tells your parents don't go there.
Yeah.
You are that.
You're doing that?
That
Wow, that's awesome.
It's weird.
That's
isn't
so
it?
good.
It's really cool.
It's crazy. I've listened to the station since, forever. I've lived in Gloucestershire all my life, as I told you. So they can't get rid of me, honestly. I'm like glue to this place. But I absolutely love it. And yeah, it's weird, because I'd listen to this radio. All my family listened to BBC Radio Gloucestershire. And now they hear me in the morning. What's that about? It's crazy. I absolutely love it. But no, it's only like a week ago that I found out I got this new job. So as well as being a journalism coordinator, I'm also a breakfast travel presenter. So I work with Mark Cummings in the morning, who's our breakfast presenter. And yeah, I basically tell you where not to go in the morning. Be careful on the road. And I don't drive, which is hilarious.
That's so funny. You know what? When I finished university and my first job, I was a magazine journalist.
Yes.
And I used to work for travel mags to places, writing about places I've never been to.
How did you manage to do that?
I think that's the secret of being like a really good journalist, and this is the course, and I'm not just saying this in like a way to promote the course, but we were taught how to research.
Yeah.
You really had to make sure that everything is accurate. Like, I remember I used to write a lot about like different walks that you can do in Dartmoor in Devon, which is a really niche thing to do.
Surely you watched a few vlogs about like people walking in Dartmoor.
I watched like POV vlogs. I used to look at maps and figure out, oh, that looks like a nice route. And I used to go on Google Maps and match images that I found from the photographer. It was a lot of work. I love
that. It's great though. It is one of the most important skills, especially in this job. Is research. It gets you to new places.
It's one of those jobs that, like, if you're doing a story about someone and if you get their name wrong or if you get something wrong, you won't hear the end of it. And it's really embarrassing when you do something wrong, because you're like, it makes me cringe sometimes.
And it's public for everyone to see.
It's
true.
Public.
So if and I've done it, I'm doing it now. I'm sure I did it yesterday. I'll tell you when I'm doing the travel news, a road not to go on. And I know the roads here really well, because even though I don't drive, I've lived here all my life, so I know it, as I keep saying. But my nan will text me like, that was pronounced wrong. Thanks, Nan. Because she knows.
Funny.
Yeah, she's listening, and she's like, no, that's not right.
Do you ever get like, afterwards you're like, oh crap? Do you ever get that full person like, oh crap, I made a mistake? Does that like weigh on your mind at all? Or?
Of course, it plays in my mind, and it always will. But the more you do the job, the stronger you get, and you kind of realise...
It's like, just push it to the side sort of thing.
Exactly, because you've got a job to do. Like, I'll make a mistake, but 10 minutes later, I'm back on again with more updates. So I'm not going to keep thinking about that, otherwise I'll do it again.
Yeah.
So you've got to move on and just learn from your mistakes, and I do that. And it's going to keep happening. It happens to all of us, every person in the world, every day. We all make mistakes, and I know it's a cheesy thing that's said time and time again, but make mistakes, please. It's important. You have to. It's the only way you learn, and it pushes you way forward. And if you don't make mistakes, you'll never learn. That's just the facts. So I'm happy making mistakes. I'm proud of them. Not always. When I say the wrong road, it's a bit embarrassing. But at least I'll do it next time.
But when you were at uni and making all those mistakes and experimenting with finding your voice and finding what you want to do, how have you felt like supported by the course, by the people around you, friends, lecturers? Did you find support? Because obviously you said that you left and then came back, and then it was COVID.
Yeah.
How was that?
Well, that's true. Yeah, that was, again, like I said, journey, because it really has been. It was a weird time. So when I did come back, and I was so happy and excited, because I thought I lost my opportunity, but they embraced me and they took me back with open arms, and the lecturers were so lovely, and they knew I was through a difficult time, so they were so understanding. So when I came back, it was, when COVID was about, it was just, it was getting really bad at that time. I started in September. A few months later, that's when lockdown happened in the March. So, it was in the middle of it, really. And I was really scared. I was like, okay, this is not what I signed up for. I'm quite worried how this might play out. But honestly, it was great. Doing my assessments on Zoom, honestly, sometimes it was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I know it's not the same for everyone, but I had a great time with it. And the new friends I made in the new course was so just amazing. That was my support system, was the friends on my course and the lecturers and my family. Like, all of that together, I had everything I need. And I'm so privileged for that, because not everyone has that. And I'm fully aware of that. And that's why I'm so grateful for it. But it was a strange time. It was for all of us. And, no one can prepare for that. So I wasn't. But again, like I say, it's a process. You just have to go through it. No matter what gets in your way, just know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. No matter what, you are going to get there. Uni isn't all your life. Like, it's not.
It's just a part,
isn't it? It's a part of it, and there is an end. And
it's a big launch pad.
Good. Exactly. And everything went well. And I was lucky to have that support, because I think we all needed it more than ever during that time. And just even though we were on Zoom looking at each other's faces miles apart, you still felt like you were part of something. And I'm really happy about that, because this course is like a family to me now. It genuinely is, and I will keep that forever. because you don't get that everywhere you go, every uni or college or whatever it might be. It's special.
How was it like meeting up with your course for like the first time, like sort of after all like these Zoom calls together? Like that must have been quite a surreal moment.
It was emotional. It was lovely. Like the first lectures when we'd have like hybrid, learning. The first time we had like a lecture on campus again. First of all, go into the Starbucks. That was number one priority. To be able to get that in the morning, I was like, oh, this is what life's really about.
Yeah.
And just getting that and then meeting up with everyone, it was really lovely, and it's just such a different experience. And being able to see people like in the flesh, seeing them face to face, that's what it's all about, and that's why I love journalism, because that's the job, isn't it? It's people and stories, and you meet people like that. Of course, Zoom is a big part of the world now, and in every job as well. But there's nothing to me more like face-to-face conversations, and that's why I love the job I do, because I love people, I love different stories. So being able to see all the course mates again, it was really emotional, and I always remember that moment because they were so accepting to me when I joined that course as like the newbie.
Yeah.
I was a new person in that course when I rejoined. And I felt so comfortable. They just, accepted me straight away.
Oh. It's always good to know that you're in the right hands, especially as being a journalism student. Like you spend a lot of time together. You also are in a high pressure, intense situations together. Like getting stories, running around. It's
madness.
It's intense, and
it's
the best part of it. And it's so cool that you actually. I'm so glad that a lot of people post the pandemic, we were able to offer them that hybrid learning.
Yeah, exactly.
And then obviously last year it's been fully face to face. So it's really cool that you actually got that.
I'm really, really grateful for that.
And also, I think people should be I was grateful for the pandemic because it taught me how to adapt really quickly. Also, really upped my tech game big time.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I think that's the same with everyone. I think it's such a different experience, isn't it, compared to anything else anyone's done. Imagine in a few years' time, you could be I've been through a pandemic. Yeah, I've managed to deal with that. Yeah, I did uni, which is probably one of the toughest aspects of life because you're learning how to do sort of your profession
during a global pandemic.
And doing it all online, and you managed to sort of get through and do that.
It's something
huge
to be proud of.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. And put it on the CV. Don't you forget. That is, put everything you want on the CV. Because that is something you can talk about in a job interview. And yes, most of the world went through it in a similar way.
But not everyone excelled.
But not everyone. And you can twist it into your way. That's something I've learned about job interviews and work experience and placements and things like that, is turning your experiences into something that's employable. And you can really do that in a great way, and it also shows your personality, and people like to look for something that's different, that stands out. So you got not, instead of just saying, oh, I did lectures on Zoom, say, no, I taught myself how to learn so many technical skills by adapting it into that environment. And you can turn it into a way that employers will see that and be like, oh, actually we like that. We need that in our team. It's
taking your experience in your own hands, and you did that wonderfully, I think. And we want to talk about this before we head into this little. So we've got a lot of questions in here that we're going to go through.
Exciting.
Before we want to talk about that, you I'm not sure if it was during lockdown, but during the pandemic, you started your own podcast.
Yes,
which I absolutely love. The Pop Cult Digest.
Yes.
Yeah. So good. What name?
So good. And you interviewed really amazing celebrities and really amazing people.
Oh,
tell us, name drop some of the people that you interviewed.
Come on, let's do a few name drops. So Tracy Beaker, you with me on this?
Yeah. Oh wow.
I can make my work come true. Come on. So that was my childhood, and I interviewed Danny Harmer, who played Tracy Beaker.
What?
And I was so excited because, she was like a childhood idol to me, and she's such a cool person. And she was just tweeting loads about Drag Race because she's like a massive fan. I'd love her to be a guest one day on that. I think she'd be great on Drag Race UK. And she was doing loads of tweeting about it, and I just saw her being really active on social media. And it was during the pandemic and lockdown. So I thought, surely celebrities, I know they're different to us, but they're going through the same thing. So they're going to be at home. They're bored. They're not doing the same things. They're not working as much. So I was like, let's take this opportunity. Let's, take advantage of that
Slide
situation.
into her DMs.
Slide into the DMs.
Yeah, I love that.
And I did, and it worked. I took my chance. And I was like, listen, they're probably bored at home. They'll see my little DM on Twitter and they'll be like, why not? Because I got nothing else to do. So I did that to a lot of people, and it worked out, and I loved that, and I'm still doing it to this day. So I just said to her, I love what you did. I love what you're doing now. I'd love to just catch up and see how your career's going and what how's life. And she was so lovely and down to earth. She was like, I'm so up for it. And we did a lovely interview, and we talked about the new Tracy Beaker that came out, because they had that new the new series.
Yeah.
And it did really well. And I wanted to talk about, you know, how her journey has been from a childhood actress to now. And she was so lovely. It went really well. And, you know, that gave me the confidence to be like, okay, I can actually do this now. So why not? I'm not going to stop. So
carry on going.
I just kept going.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know, I can't really swear, can I?
No.
But Sophie Anderson, she's an
adult entertainer.
That's
okay.
right.
Really famous internet meme as well.
Very big within the LGBTQ plus community.
You have to show me one. No, not like that.
Yeah,
the memes.
well, I'll show you.
You show me the memes
I'll show you the
afterwards.
memes.
Oh god.
She's great. She went viral on social media with Rebecca Moore. They're like two iconic, you know, online celebrities.
Porn stars. We can say porn stars.
Yeah, they're porn stars.
Adult entertainers.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they're content creators online. Like they've gone viral and they're just great. I interviewed her and she was brilliant. Who else can I name drop? Oh, a few Drag Race stars. You know, Lady Camden on the last season of the US. Brilliant person, amazing. And you know, it's what my podcast is all about. Is I love pop culture and entertainment. It's my passion. Like I've always been obsessed with it. Like, do you know what I think it comes from? It's my mum buying the OK magazines
And you just flicking through it.
Yeah, leaving it on the side. I'm like, oh, what's that about? Britney Spears. And I'd flick through. And that's what I've loved it for. I just got my passion for all things showbiz. And I don't want it all the fakeness and the glitz and the glam, because all that's a bit false, really, even though it's very entertaining. I like to delve into the person and their personal life and their journey and their career. And I think that's what's kept my passion doing the podcast, is talking to people that I look up to and that I know in the limelight, but finding out, well, actually, how you doing, hun?
Yeah.
Let's put the kettle on. Like, what's the real tea? What's life? Because that's what I'm actually interested in about, you know, people in the limelight. I want to know what they do behind closed doors. I don't need to do everything, but just, you know, the things that they're comfortable talking about. And I think the lockdown and doing it over Zoom, because I've done them all on phone or Zoom, helps them because they're in the comfort of their own home and they're telling me things that they're comfortable telling me. And I find that really interesting. So hopefully whoever listens finds that interesting as well.
I think that's what's so great about podcasts. Like celebrities, you always see them like when they're having interviews, like in person and stuff. Like they should just go into professional mode.
Down.
No,
Exactly.
well, like on like normal TV stuff, professional mode.
Yes.
But on like a podcast, they're so relaxed and chill, and they'll just talk about anything.
Yeah, I could
Take a
sleep,
nap.
honestly. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
But it's relaxing. It's you know, you feel like you're talking to a mate, and that's what I hope to achieve. One person I interviewed, I don't know if you know who he is, Julian Clary. He's an entertainer, and my nan's obsessed with him because, you know, he goes back to the older days.
Love that.
Yeah.
You know, he was on telly, he was on Big Brother, he's done loads of theatre and stuff. And the older audiences know who he is. And most of my my guests and my podcast in general is for younger people around my age, really, like Gen Z. But my nan, she loved it. And that was a really emotional moment for me because she listened to my podcast. She's like, I love this, Jack. And it's the fact that I'm making my nan love what I do is that I think is the best thing. Cause
That's so sweet.
I just love that. I do everything I do for my family, really. They motivate me. So that's just, you know, that means the world to me. That's what keeps me going.
I love that.
That's
Honestly,
so wholesome.
Jack, you've like kudos and congrats on everything that you've been up to and what you'll continue to do. The fact that like it's big and the industry you're working in is so competitive.
Yes.
And it's so competitive, and for like it makes me proud as an ex like Uni of Gloucester alumni and a current employee to see some of our students secure a job at the BBC.
Smashing it as
Come on,
well.
let's do it.
Just smashing life.
Honestly, congrats.
Smashing it.
Anyone can do it though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
That's
just,
it.
Just follow your what you love.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you need to do because it will get you there.
Yeah, I think that's the important thing is you just have to enjoy it. Any job you do, just do it with a smile on your face.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, then, because for a job, you do it for like half your life, 9 till 5, isn't it?
Exactly.
And it's like, if you're not enjoying it, then
No, what's the point?
Then why are you
So,
doing it?
yeah, why are you doing it?
Yeah, it's true.
I love that, and I really hope that like you will continue to excel in your job, and I can't
Fingers
wait for you
crossed.
to get your
Yeah.
own show, and we'll definitely
bring
tune
it
in.
on.
Oh, yeah. I'd love to go on it. Blooming hell.
You'll be on it. It'll be
I
fine.
can definitely see you doing that 100%.
Oh, thank you guys.
but-
That's my dream.
You'll do it. You'll get there. And before we let you go, so we've asked people to send in questions, and some of them are quite funny. Some of them are really bizarre and really businessy. So we'll just do like a couple of rapid fire questions.
Okay, I love this.
We can all answer them.
Yes,
and
we'll
but
get
I'll
you to
let
pick out the magic pink
lucky
wicker
dip.
basket.
If you're not watching the podcast and you listen to it, I'm holding a nice little wicker pink basket that has all the questions in. But yeah, here you go. Pick out the first question.
This is exciting.
And please read it out loud.
I'll do a little ruffle.
Oh.
Yeah.
What have I got?
Ooh.
Okay,
Go.
let's have a look.
Read it out.
Tell us about your weirdest / funniest moment at university.
What's your weirdest and funniest moment at uni?
Gosh. Oh no. Do you know what? The first week, as I mentioned with the whole drag thing, we did like a tour of Gloucestershire, as we do on the journalism course, which is great. It's really, I as I keep saying, I've lived here all my life, so I know it. But for people who've come from afar, it's a lovely way of getting to know the place. So we were going up the hills, we went up like Crickley Hill and all the areas around, and we explored. Is it Crickley Hill? You'll know because you did it.
Cleve
Hill.
Cleve Hill.
That's
It's Cleve Hill, the one, yeah.
That's the one. And it was quite a cold day in September, but that didn't stop me from wearing my booty shorts. So I was like in like short shorts, like meeting these people for the first time. That was their first introduction of me, and I just remember the lecturers looking at me like, "You're right, hun. Like, what are you wearing?"
You're cold.
But they loved it. They remember it to this day. And they call me like short Jack because they know
Jack.
that's like what they first remember of me. And I don't wear them anymore because I've grown up. I'm matured. I'm a businessman.
I wear
now.
normal shorts now.
Yeah, they're knee length maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was something that I did that just made me laugh looking back, and it just made everyone else laugh. I think they were laughing with me, not at me.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Or at least I'll say that. But that's just something I always remember. I don't know. It just makes me laugh when I look back on it.
Short Jack.
Short Jack.
Short
Wow.
Jack.
There you go.
Oh,
Lewis, do you pick a question?
lucky dip. Let's see what we got.
Just hitting the mic again.
Biggest purchase you've made at university?
Oh.
I got to try and think about
Good one.
what I've.
Biggest purchase at
Purchase-wise,
uni. It could be
yeah.
for your course, could be for just like a
No,
fun thing.
it wasn't for my course. So I'm quite into my gaming, and obviously I think I had a bursary come in for I don't know, for my fourth year as a
Did you
master's.
spend your bursary on?
Yeah,
console?
no, I didn't spend it on a console. I bought what's it called? Gaming television, like monitor.
monitor.
Oh,
Gaming
wow.
monitor. I spent
They
like
get pricey, to be fair.
yeah, I spent
So-
like £425 or something like that on it, and like I bought it. I was like, yeah, this is great, and then I looked at my bank account. I was like, this isn't great anymore.
Did you regret it? Or
I
was
love-
it a
No,
good-
I still use it today.
It's an investment.
It
then.
is
There
an
you go.
investment, and like
Did you do work? Did you do any assignments? Well, on the
to be
monitor?
fair, yeah. So I would like always double monitor setup, then connect my like Mac in. So,
Education personal.
Exactly.
but I was really bad because obviously I would have my like PlayStation next to it,
Oh no.
and I would connect that up, and then I'd have work on one screen, and I would sort of procrastinate.
multitasking.
Try and
king, love that.
multitask, or like if I was on a lecture, multitask whilst listening to the lecture.
No.
Yeah, I did that a few times. That was quite bad, but
You got listen. At least you were having fun whilst you were learning. That's great.
and I still
That's the balance.
and I came out of university and I did well at university as well. I got a 2-1 and I got all the skills I want to out of it. So
Love that.
There you go.
it paid off in the end.
Exactly.
So
It was all meant to be.
it was all meant to be.
You got a monitor. Do you have any big purchases while you're at uni?
Honestly. Okay. So maintenance loan comes in for the first time.
Yeah.
It's an exciting moment, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
come on, it's a
It's
big
when you get that
chunk of
text. When
money.
you get that text from Student
That
Finance
text
England.
Big.
Honestly.
makes your
The
day.
digits.
Yeah, and
That
you know,
many.
it's a big lot of money that you just don't know what to do with when
Mm.
you're that young, or at least for me. So obviously, I was doing the drag at the time. So what did I use that money for? A new wig and a new dress.
I love
And
that.
listen,
I
I
love
used
that.
it maybe once, and actually, it was at a performance at the uni Park campus in the SU bar, and it was a drag event that the uni held, and they asked me to do it, which was really like full circle
That's
moment
so
for me.
cute that you
I was
brought-
like,
That's so
yeah,
cute.
because I was doing what I love at my at my uni. It was like the best of both. It was like a Miley Cyrus moment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hannah Montana. So I felt great with that, and it was with what I bought with my maintenance loan. So it was like a whole,
It's very meta.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It was
that.
special.
Do you
moment.
still have the wig now and the dress?
I do. They're not looking as good as they did when I bought
Oh.
them. Bit dusty, but I can give them a shake and I can wear them again. I
Yeah,
love it.
you need to get back out. You need to
Yeah, you're right. Bring it on.
Yeah,
Bring it on.
get back into a show.
When we do, you know what? When we do a Uni of Gloss drag show, we'll get.
You can
I'll
be
be there.
You can be the
I
main
don't-
lead. You can.
I don't ask. What's your drag name?
Well, you said we're not allowed to swear on the podcast.
Oh,
Wait, what is it?
It's Ophelia Cox.
How do you spell Cox?
COX.
Okay, here
Yeah,
we
that's
go.
fine.
not a swear word.
Ophelia.
That's not a swear word. Ophelia Cox. I love that. That's
what a name
so
that
cool.
is.
I like that. That's a cool name. What's your favorite food on campus?
Oh, mine's easy, and yours will be the same as
Go
mine,
on.
I reckon.
What?
The brownies.
I don't even.
Oh,
The
of course.
brownies at Park Campus.
Of course.
Wow.
They're so gooey and gorgeous.
I never obviously used to have the brownies on campus. I used to just have like one of the main meals, but Heesh changed
I'm
my life.
obsessed.
If I have them.
Oh,
They are
it's
not like
good.
they're not like normal brownies. They're like it's more like a cake
I honestly-
mixture, isn't it? It's like a batter.
They're
mixture.
never dry. They're always moist. In
Yeah.
the best way.
I
They're
hate that
gooey.
word. I hate that word so much.
But it's true.
They are.
I feel like Mary
moist.
Berry. It's
yeah.
so moist.
I need to get that recipe from them. I don't know
Yeah.
how,
I
but
know.
I need to
They-
get it.
The Uni of Gloss brownie is iconic, and I think every
Mm.
single. I'm an advocate for them. I could write a whole piece about why they're the best. And when
Yeah.
I remember when I first started, I was like, oh, I want a brownie, and I got it, and it was like a group of us, and I think we took the same bite at the same time, like literally the first week of uni. We all looked at each other and we were like, is this undercooked or is it just really gooey? So we
Oh,
asked,
listen,
we
if
asked-
it is, keep doing it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we asked the lady, she was like, of course not undercooked, it's just we make it really gooey, and I was like, it's so good, and it is the best.
Best brownie I've ever eaten,
love
and I can
brownie.
say that hand on heart, like I mean it. Best brownie ever.
We need to do a TikTok about the uni brownie.
Yeah.
we
You
really
do.
need to do
I think
that.
we need to get into the kitchen and see how they're made and do like
Yeah.
Oh
a BTS
yeah,
sort
I'd
of
watch
behind the
that.
scenes.
Do
Yeah.
like a recipe video.
Yeah.
I love that. Are you still in touch with your uni friends and lecturers?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. You know, I don't know if every course does it, but I know everyone who does journalism, we always have that group chat.
Yeah.
You know, you keep it, and it's so lovely to just have that because you can always just jump in and you know if you want to say hi, go for it. And we also have like a Facebook group that the lecturers have made, which I'm really glad.
Oh, that's really
Again,
nice.
not every uni does that, you know. Like my boyfriend went to a uni in Birmingham, and there was like hundreds of people in his course, and they didn't really know him one to one that well. It was more like a you're a number, not a name kind of thing. Whereas our uni and my course, like I know it's again a cheesy saying that you're not a number, you're a name, but you feel that. Like I genuinely do. Like I know my lecturers one to one. They know my life inside and out because I was comfortable telling them, and it changes your experience so much.
Yeah.
It really helps you get through the whole 3 years. It was great.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so
Oh,
cool.
that's so
Are you
good.
still in touch with any of your uni friends?
Yeah, uni friends, lecturers, not so much. I think it was similar. Like we had quite a big group in like our first 3 years. But like in our fourth year, it was quite nice. So like I still like have a bit of banter with my lecturers on Twitter,
Yes.
like from my master's course. So
I love that.
that's quite funny. But yeah, my friends I'm still in contact with. A lot of them, like half of them, still live in Cheltenham. So it's like
nice.
so I still catch up with them a lot. So
See, it's so good they didn't want to leave.
yeah, I know.
See,
Well,
so
that's,
many people-
that's literally what I did. I came here and I was like, I can't leave now.
You fall in love
Like,
with the place.
yeah.
It gets your heart.
It's
It
the
really
best of
does.
both worlds, the best of city and country living. I keep saying
Exactly.
this.
Why do you think I've stayed here 22 years?
Literally. There you go. Pick it.
From another. It's quite nerve wracking, really.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
what did I pull out?
Okay, remember what's in here.
Oh, this is very generic in the best way because there's so many things to it. What's your favourite part about university?
Yeah.
There's just so much I
Oh.
could say with that, honestly.
Pick like top bits, like
Highlights, you know.
tip of the iceberg.
The tip of the iceberg for me, as I keep touching on, and it comes to my job and just experiences in general, is honestly people. Like it sounds basic and obvious, but it's true. The people at uni really just make the experience, and I'm talking about the course mates and the lecturers. I think just the memories you make with them. It's not, you don't just go to uni to get the degree. It's not like that. You don't go in and out in 3 years. Like, all right, got a degree now, I'm off. It shapes you into a whole new person in the best possible way.
Yeah.
And it did for me. And the best part for me was just, finding myself as well. Because
Yeah.
it's that whole journey you go through. There's nothing else like it that I can compare to in my life.
That's the thing is you can
Love that.
you can be yourself, and there is that group for you. Like for me, the main thing for me was like I joined a sports team. I joined my cricket society, and like I could just be myself and feel
Yeah.
comfortable speaking about things I want to speak about and be as weird as I want with them because of they understand that, and like they're more than happy to be themselves as well. And
welcome you. That's really important.
it's just a great feeling to be able
Yeah.
to do that. Whereas like probably in secondary school you get a bit judged about like sort of like things you
Also, you're
do
not
and
as-
stuff, and it's just a
Not as
bit like,
confident in school.
yeah,
No
I know.
way. Oh,
And it
absolutely
is-
not.
God no.
Secondary school is a wild place. It's tough compared
Okay.
to university. So
I love that. I've retired the basket for a second because I want to ask you our 3 questions before we wrap this up.
Oh, please do.
But you kind of just touched on it for a bit, like your favorite thing about university. So if you could sum up your uni experience in one word or one phrase, which I know is a really hard question.
Okay,
what would it
phrase.
be?
It's
Let me
tough.
phrase.
Do a
yeah,
phrase.
go for phrase.
We've had some really good ones.
Yeah.
Mine is always
Oh.
chaos.
No, chaos. Yeah, I can relate to that. Okay, well, it's pretty basic, but one word would just be a roller coaster. Because
Love that.
Listen, ups and downs, it's real.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was the highest of high points and the lowest of low. That's just life, and I'm glad that I experienced that at uni. So that's like my one word. It's just roller coaster because it really is. And it's also because on a roller coaster, we're getting metaphorical right now. We're
I
getting
like
deep.
that.
On a roller coaster, you don't feel safe. You feel like,
Yeah.
you don't feel secure at all times or comfortable, but you also feel so excited. And I think genuinely that is all the feelings I had at uni. Like it was just a whole
Wow,
roller
that was
coaster.
so eloquent.
That's yeah.
Listen, I'm a journalist for a reason. I got away with words.
I genuinely thought you were just gonna go Ronan Keating. Just got to ride it.
I love that. Roller coaster is really good. Has anyone ever said roller coaster before?
I don't think so.
I hope I'm not that basic.
I-
Yeah, no,
I think-
that's a real good
I
one.
think you generally might be the first person that said that. So that's really,
Yeah.
really
I'll
cool.
take it. I'll take it.
Okay, well, your uni life was a roller coaster. Now that you're kind of a graduate, obviously you've got like what people might call a dream job, and congrats again.
Oh.
But what's on your bucket list? What's like the one thing that you really want to do?
Mm.
But whether it's in career-wise or just like personal life or just anything.
Yeah.
Really
bucket
good
list
question.
moment.
I think, I touched on it a little bit when we were talking about my job earlier. Like, genuinely, to be able to present my own show one day, that is a dream, because it's not, I wouldn't say it's a narcissistic thing, because I wouldn't want to do that for me. It's not about having my name on a show. It's not
Yeah.
about that. It's about having a platform that I can use for other people.
Mm.
And I would love to have that, because it's a lot of responsibility and power, but I want to use it in the best possible way.
Yeah.
And, like I keep saying about people, that's why I've gone into the job. It's about representing the stories and the people within the community, wherever that might be. For me, it's Gloucestershire. And there's so many stories here that go untold, and I want to tell them.
Yeah.
There's
they
so
need
many
to
cool
be
people
told.
around.
So many cool people, like, it's crazy. Like, my final year project was on the LGBTQ plus community in Gloucestershire. And what I found out doing that project was phenomenal. Like, honestly, what the community has gone through here is just mad, and the way it's changed. And there's so much to it, because, the reason why I did that project was because I found out that Gloucestershire is the only county in the UK without a designated LGBTQ plus bar. And, as a gay person, I've lived here all my life. It makes me think, I feel quite isolated, but that's not the way. I've loved living here.
Yeah.
And it goes to show how the community comes together to create their own space and their own environment, because we've had that, like, me doing the drag show, that it still happened without a queer venue.
Yeah.
And that shows the true tenacity of that group and that community, because even despite the odds, they managed to make that happen and celebrate who they are. And I was a part of that, and I always will be. And I would love to just represent that on a bigger platform.
Yeah.
As well as other communities, other people, other stories. But that's very close to my heart, and I always just want to celebrate that, and I will. I'll continue to do that.
Oh,
That's such a good one. That is.
that was so perfect. I could shut up now. No, it's so incredible, and I love it when students like talk about their final year projects, because it's like
Yeah.
we just had 2 students who from the School of Arts, who one a photographer and a fashion designer,
Amazing.
talk about their final year project, and it's like the culmination of everything that you've learned.
Yeah.
So for you to, here's this major full circle moment for
Getting
you.
emotional.
A week before you started uni, you did a drag show. Then
Yeah.
you became a journalist and did a drag show at the uni. And then your final project at the university was reflecting on the queer community that first birthed Ophelia Cox. That's so
Listen,
cool.
I haven't
That's
even thought
so,
about it
so
in that
good.
way.
That's really
like,
cool.
Genuinely.
It just comes full circle,
No,
doesn't
it
it?
is.
Yeah.
Like, I keep going back to that full circle moment, but that is my whole uni experience. Like,
Yeah.
it just feels like everything's happened for a reason. It's weird. Like, I don't know. It just, like, it was meant to be. And I reflect on it. And like I said, I got my degree results today. And just looking at that before I came here, I was like, oh, this is just like, I don't know. It was just, it was
like a full circle moment.
It's good to like just reflect, just take a couple seconds out and just be like.
I think that would be like my piece of advice to you, because I did the thing where I finished uni and went into a job straight away.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Take the time to generally realize the fact that you've spent 3 years of your life pouring your heart and soul into a degree, into nurturing relationships, professionally and personally. Also, like nurturing a relationship with your boyfriend, your lecturer. There's so much that's happened in your past 4 years of being at university. Take time to reflect on it, because let me tell you something. At the end of that reflection, you're going to be like, you know what? I'm a boss. Because honestly, I didn't do it, and I reached a point where I was like a bit depressed, because I was like, I want to go back to uni. Or like, have I done the wrong thing? I feel like I'm not fulfilled. And when I looked into it, I'm like, no, I did everything I set out to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I got a job, and I'm like, I'm cool, and I'm like, now I can just go on and do other things. And that's why when I came and started working at the university, I was like, oh, this is proper full circle for us.
Yeah, it is. I when I saw that you got the job here, I was like, yeah, that was meant to be. Do you know what I mean? When I talk about things that are meant to be and they happen for a reason, it's just like it's all aligned for you. I feel like you follow that path, and if you have a bad moment, it's quite hard to say, oh, that's meant to be, because you don't want bad things to happen, but they do happen for a reason as well, because it's just part of the journey that gets
makes you
to the
stronger.
next step.
It's character building in a way, isn't it? It just, as you said, just makes you a stronger person, and you can learn from the moments.
Yeah,
just like the
100%.
great poet Kelly Clarkson said, what doesn't kill you makes you
stronger.
Icon.
So many song references
I know.
on the podcast.
I love it.
And before we wrap up, I have to ask this silly little questions. Now we got a bit deep. Let's get silly again.
Yeah.
We always like to ask all of our guests, because the student experience is a lived experience and is shared by thousands and thousands of people. And at some point, like you said, when you get that text from Student Finance England and you get the coin in, it's all great. But then down the line, that coin is no longer there.
You have nothing.
No.
What's the most broke student meal that you've ever had?
Listen, I gave you a little sneak peek earlier when I mentioned pot noodle, because it's true. Like, pot noodle is like, it's in the hearts of students. Do you know what I mean? Pot noodle, like, we keep it close. It's our go-to meal. If nothing else works, put the kettle on. You got a pot noodle. It's easy.
I love that.
But I was a bit hungover.
Oh,
and
no.
I didn't want to just pot noodle, because, you know, that's basic. I wanted to spice up a bit. So I poured in like a whole jar of paprika, put some tuna in there. I think there was some like leftover potatoes in the fridge. And that was like a whole broth for me. And
you made like a whole soup.
a whole soup from pot noodle. I was creative, and as disgusting as it sounds.
Was it good?
No. I was hyping it up. I think I was probably sick after.
Oh no! Oh.
It wasn't the one.
It was definitely that warm tuna.
I don't recommend it anytime soon.
When you say it like that, watery tuna, that's not nice.
No, it doesn't sound nice.
What's your favourite pot noodle flavour?
Sorry to be a basic B, but listen, the chicken and mushroom, like, hello.
No.
I wasn't a pot.
No.
I wasn't a pot noodle person. I was what are they called?
Super noodles.
No,
pasta sauce.
No, mi goreng.
Mi goreng noodles.
Yeah,
I've not tried that.
Super
they
noodles
are.
good.
They are really good. But I was a pasta and sauce person,
Pasta and sauce
and
person.
I get that. Yeah, absolutely.
I was great with it as well. So I used to put like sriracha sauce, Worcestershire sauce.
Oh.
Don't mention them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, cheese and ham in, and then obviously a bit of milk. Microwave it, and wow.
Yeah, no, that's
there was
good.
a lot of flavours in my mouth.
Was it good?
Yes.
Yeah, well,
I'm trying this later.
Yeah, please do. It's get my sriracha, get my Worcestershire sauce. Wow, it was just amazing.
You know what? A bastardized pot noodle that you just said. It's not as bad as what we've heard on this podcast, so it's fine.
It's not the worst, is it? I've heard the others, and
yeah.
I'm okay. I know it wasn't the best, but you know, I could have gone worse. Couldn't I?
We should have a chart. You know how in Sunday Kitchen, is it called Sunday Kitchen Morning, when they have the chart of the omelette? People buy omelette.
Yeah.
We should have a chart of the people.
Yeah,
you
worst
really
meals.
should.
And Lewis Holman will be at the top of
with bread and water.
With bread and water.
But
Lewis.
did you ever go for a phase where, like, I went through it in my first year, where you buy a cheese toasty machine and you just cook cheese toasties for like a month straight, and that's all you live off, and then you never use the machine ever again.
Of course not. But that 1 month, that investment
is the best
worth
month.
it, because come on, you can whack anything in there and it's going to taste banging.
See,
I might do it again, you know.
I am a George Foreman stan through and through. I still use my George Foreman.
Oh no!
I bought that George Foreman in 2016. It's still
George Foreman's are good, but having like the cheap Tesco £5 cheese toast
It's
machine.
just easily done. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
I make a cheese toast in a George Foreman, and it still has.
Yeah,
Just
but it
as
doesn't
good.
get like the little
pocket of cheese.
Yeah, the pocket of cheese and the
That's it,
crust
yeah.
around
Fair
it,
enough.
and it's just like
It's everything you need in one. It's
Yeah.
just sorted for life.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm having
Oh,
later.
I really want a
Cheese
toast
toasty.
and a pot noodle.
And a pot noodle,
You know,
not the one I
dipping
had.
it in as well.
I love that. Well, Jack, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you,
to Behind the
guys.
Uni.
No
It was
problem.
so nice to have you.
been-
And as always, like we've said it before, congrats and good luck with the
Thank
future.
you.
And we can't wait to see you soon in November for your graduation.
Yeah.
You're really excited. Have
gonna be
you
good.
started thinking about your outfit yet?
Oh, do you know what? I've recycled the same suit every time I have something fancy coming up. It'll be a blue
You should go and
suit.
drag.
Oh
my
my
god.
God, Jack,
now
you
you said
have to.
that.
That'd be huge.
Guys, death drop on the stage.
You really have to do that.
Listen.
You'd
I
go
can't do
viral
death
for that.
drop.
You'd go viral. You would definitely go viral.
You've got the whole summer to learn how to do a death drop.
Listen,
You
okay, that
ha-
is true. I have time to practice.
You
but
have to show up in drag.
I need to invest in a new wig because the ones I have, listen, they're past the point of dusting them off. I need to get a new wig. So let me plan something. And we'll see.
If you want a viral TikTok, that's easy.
Watch this
Ticket.
space.
Yeah.
Oh my God, please premiere Ophelia Cox at
Ophelia
the
Cox
Uni of
at
Gloucester
UOG.
grad. Oh, that's so cool. But yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
and
you,
hopefully we'll
guys.
see you soon.
See you
And
soon.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Behind the Uni. We're the University of Gloucestershire podcast where we discuss everything student life. And if you have any questions about joining the university or if you want to join us via clearing, just head to our Instagram at Uni of Gloss, drop us a DM. Myself or Lewis
We'll be in contact.
We'll be in contact. We'll get in touch. And we really hope you enjoyed the podcast. As always, there are plenty more episodes on our Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you enjoy podcasts, and on YouTube. Go over there. We've talked about everything. We've really covered a lot.
No,
And we've
go and
still
see our
got-
beautiful faces.
Yeah, and we've still got a whole lot more to talk about, so stay tuned. But yeah, thank you so much. We like to close the show by doing like a little CBBS moment where we wave at the camera. There's
Oh, I
camera
love
there.
that.
So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.